Welcome everybody, lovely to see you all. So we're going to open sacred space first, and I'm going to start by offering you a fire stick for you to blow into, and I will burn it for you. And we're going to start by clearing our own stuff, and then at the end of the practice we'll blow our wishes in for Mother Earth. Okay, so to the winds of the south, great serpent, come and wrap your coils of light around us and teach us to shed our past the way you shed your skin, and to walk gently on the earth. Teach us the beauty way. I call on the Ratna Dakini to teach us your wisdom of equanimity, and the grandmother of the weave of the earth, Aho. To the winds of the west, Mother Sister Jaguar, come protect our medicine space. Teach us to live impeccably, to walk peacefully, and to journey beyond death. I call on the grandmother of the west, the weave of fire, and the Padma Dakini, to teach us your wisdom that is the wisdom of discernment. Aho. To the winds of the north, hummingbird, ancestors, ancient ones, we come to honour you who have come before us and you who will come after us, our children's children. Come and warm your hands by our fire and whisper to us in the wind. Teach us to drink deeply from the nectar of life. I call on the Kama Dakini to teach us the wisdom that is all accomplishing, and the grandmother of the weave of air. Aho. To the winds of the east, great eagle condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Hold us under your wings and teach us to fly wing to wing with the great spirits, that we may see the tiniest detail and the greatest universal play. I call on the Vajra Dakini to teach us the wisdom that is mirror-like, so that we may see ourselves in all others. And to the grandmother of the weave of water, Aho. Pachamama Gaya, Mother Earth, we come to honour all of your children, the stone and the plant people, the crystals, the mushrooms, the mycelium, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy crawlies, the winged, the finned, the furred, all of our relations, all beings. Aho. Father, Son, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations, the star brothers and sisters, Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, and you who are the unnameable one. Thank you for bringing us together to sing this song of life. Aho. I call on the Buddha Dakini, the central energy of the mandala of the body, to teach us the wisdom that is all-encompassing, and to the grandmother of the weave of ether. Aho. So, we're going to take this stick. I'm going to hold it up for you all. So this works by the quantum field, okay? So it doesn't matter that you're not here in person, because we're out of time now. So I want you to think about all of the things that you want to rid yourself of, and I want you to blow it into this stick. So all the things you want to shed, and just keep blowing into this stick. The things like fear, anxiety, panic, worry, nervousness, apprehension, insecurity, shame, guilt, remorse, neglect, humiliation, embarrassment, self-criticism, disgust, contempt, disdain, aversion, revulsion, loathing, helplessness, powerlessness, vulnerability, despair, resignation, overwhelm, numbness, insecurity, jealousy, envy, resentment, confusion, rejection, abandonment, neglect, isolation. Just allow yourself to be free of those stories. Blow it into the stick. Feel those patterns of energy flowing into this stick. So this is a death arrow. And we're going to transmute the energy. So this is the same process that we use in Tonglen. Exactly the same process. We're transmuting energy. Let's have 3 more really well focused, intentional breaths. Lovely. Now we're going to let this energy be transmuted. Just allow it to burn away. Lovely. Now take the flame, the light from the candle, and I want you to draw it into your solar plexus for the power to change. Pull it in with your hand, just drawing the light towards you. Feel it move into the solar plexus, and then do the same into the heart space to have the integrity, the purpose from the heart, that unconditional love for positive change. And then into the third eye for that vision, that clarity, to be able to see the bigger play, the bigger picture. Lovely. So we're going to use a mudra tonight, which is a transformative mudra of the fire element, and it's called Ratna, let me get the full name, Ashva Ratna mudra, which translates as the jeweled horse, so it's a Tibetan Buddhist mudra. I like to think of it as the fire horse, as it's a fire energy. So hands together, cross the first 2 sets of fingers. If you turn it the other way, it's a bit like a horse. Okay. So this is a really powerful mudra, which allows us to cut through our narrow-mindedness. It strengthens our resolve to overcome negative patterns. So just holding the hands in this position, let the eyes close. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Sigh it out. And again. Once more. Lovely. Now I'm going to do a few rounds of the fire breaths, so Bhastriki Pranayama. So remember that if you're not used to this, you don't do it a great deal, then do the breath slowly. If you are used to it, then slow, medium or fast, or slow, medium, medium, fast. Okay. So remember, the Bhastriki Pranayama is this active breath like a pump at the belly, so it's okay. If it makes you feel dizzy, then just slow the breath right down and do a deep yogic breath instead. So keeping the hands in the mudra, we're going to burn all of that energy that we no longer need to keep with us. We've moved through the year of the snake. it sheds, and we're now in the fire horse, which only happens this combination of elements, the horse and fire, only happens every 60 years. So it's a really important time in history for us individually, but collectively. So when you're ready, nice deep breath in. Deep breath in. Hold for as long as is comfortable for you. Lock the chin to chest. Apply Mula Bandha. Lift the pelvic floor. And imagine this fire burning away all of those miasmas in your own energy field. So remember, the energy field is all the way around the body. Burn them away. Those patterns of behaviour that it's time to let go of. And when you're ready, exhale. Just rest and take a moment to be aware of these patterns. We all have them. We're all mirrors for each other. We all have shadow sides that need to be healed. Those patterns of behaviour that trigger us. I was saying this morning in class that one of my teachers, Tracy Holloway, who's brilliant, she always says, triggers are treasures. Because when we are being triggered by what we feel is something outside of us, we're not. It's something inside of us. And the outside is just the mirror. And that thing inside of us needs to be brought into the light to be healed. So being aware of those patterns. And also when we are triggered, we tend to all behave a little bit childlike. And that's because that's the energy where the patterns are held in our childhood. So it's time to free it all. So let's do another round. Think about what you're clearing. You don't need to label it, but maybe feel into it. Deep breath in. Next time we do it, as we sigh out, I want you to imagine that you're breathing out fire and you're transmuting it like a dragon. Ready? Deep breath in. Breathe out the fire. Focus on the breath. Notice any sensations in the fingers, any pulsing. Be aware of the solar plexus energy just above the navel. Imagine this flame like a fire, so much bigger than the flame at the heart. This flame of energy that transforms. And see these old patterns and behaviours being burnt in the flame of the fire. Those old aspects of you that no longer serve you. The old stories. If you want, you can imagine that you're writing the stories for the final time on a piece of paper and you're burning them in the fire. So what we're doing is we're becoming the storyteller rather than the story. And that way we transmute the energy and we release it from our luminous energy field, our sacred body. Just keep working with that image, just allowing the breath to be natural, but aware of it, as if it's feeding this fire. So not bashtriki, just a deep breath. And I'm going to read you a sutra from the Radiant Sutras, which is about the transmutive energy of fire. It's Yukti verse 30. Imagine the entire world consumed by flame. Stay steady, do not waver. As fire transmutes form into light, the soul reveals itself to itself as radiance. Lovely, let the hands relax for a moment and do one more pranayama before we enter into the transmutive stage with Tonglen. So we're going to work with the emotional Savitri breath. Always good to go into this sacred practice in a place of calm emotionally. So bring your hand to your right nostril and very gently block it. Left hand in Chin Mudra. And breathe into the left nostril for a count of 6. Hold the breath in for 3. And breathe out for 6. hold the breath out for 3. Keep going. Switch sides on the next exhale. Same rhythm into the right. Lovely. Interlace all of the fingers and let the thumbs connect. Let the hands rest loosely in the lap. Focus on the tip of the nose. Breathe into both nostrils, same rhythm. Lovely, now just release. So I want you to imagine, be aware of the left side of your brain. And the right side of the brain. And it's very bright, both sides. And we're going to switch off the left so that we can focus on our intuitive side. So I want you to imagine that the left side is like a little half semicircle room, and you're going to switch off the lights. Just slowly switch them off. Maybe you've got a dimmer switch, maybe a big switch, maybe quite a few. Imagine it being switched off and it becomes dark. And then bring a lot more of your attention to the right side of the brain. So it's really bright. We're connecting to that intuitive side of our brain, to our guides, to other planes of existence. And then take your attention up towards the crown. Imagine it opening, pouring in this light. It opens like a crown. Sometimes we're shown images of crowns or halos. Just imagine it opening like a lotus flower. And then this huge beam of light pouring in from way above you as we connect fully into the universe. So the head's like a huge torch beam. Maybe give it a little tiny wiggle to see if you can feel that image. You can see it maybe of it moving. This big beam of light. And then let it settle again. And then keeping the awareness of that energy, let your attention go into the heart space. And notice that in the heart space is this other flame, but it's smaller than the fire at the solar plexus. And this flame is the eternal flame. The part of you, the spiritual aspect of you that is eternal. And this part of us is indestructible. And just keep breathing in and out from the heart space. Almost as if the heart space has a circular window at it. And this flame is looking out into the physical realm, observing this human life. Notice how it observes the body. And although the body is part of it for this particular incarnation, we can observe the body. Our true self can observe it. Notice it observing emotions, which is a human quality. And because we can observe them from this place in the heart space, there is something other observing it. And notice the thoughts. The observer observing the thoughts. And let's give this breath a bit more texture. So as we breathe in, we're giving the breath a darker texture to it. So remember that Tonglen is a process of alchemy. We breathe in the heavy energy, which we would label suffering. And as it connects to this flame, which is eternal and indestructible, it burns really brightly, and it's transmuted into unconditional love, and that's what we send out, this beam of light. And remember that that suffering, that dark cloud, can never touch you. It's just used as a transformational process. So as you're breathing in, the energy is a darker colour. Maybe it's a bit murky, maybe it's black. Whatever you feel you're able to visualise is fine. A smoky colour, darker. Maybe a graphite grey. And as you exhale, this incredible light that comes from the heart space and is also connected up into that huge beam of light. And just be aware of being the conduit for transformation. And that this flame is growing stronger by just allowing this energy to be transmuted into unconditional love. Lovely. Now we're going to start with ourselves using this process. So as you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in from all directions of the meat suit, the earth suit. Your suffering and how that suffering shows for you. So how the observer sees it, the physical suffering, the emotional suffering, the mental suffering, spiritual suffering. Breathe it all in. Feel it energetically, feel it physically and emotionally. Breathe it into the heart space. And as you exhale, breathe out light and let your field, the Dwadishanta, fill. So remember, the Dwadishanta is our energy field, so the luminous energy field, the sacred body. And Dwada means 12 in Sanskrit, and we can measure that distance out. If we put our knuckles 3 away, is how far it comes out, all the way around and all the way above us. This huge energy field, we're clearing it. So breathing in your own suffering into that flame at the heart space and transmute it. Send unconditional love to yourself. Unconditional love. Letting go of our human folly. Letting go of any guilt or shame, jealousy, just let it go. Burning it in the energetic flame, just like we did at the beginning. Really focus your attention on the process. Breathing in your own suffering to the heart space, directing it to gather there. And be aware of the transformation into light. Push it out so that your entire luminous energy field is this really vibrant ball of light. Getting rid of any density that you hold in your field. Be aware of pushing it out. Front, side, back, up, down, all around. Until you can feel this huge ball of energy that is you. And just feel that sense of remembering who you truly are, what you truly are. Allow the fire to transmute form, the form of denser energies, into light. Allow the soul to reveal itself to itself as radiance. Be aware of your true self as radiance, pure light. Notice how beautiful you are. As beings of light. Lovely, 3 more breaths and then we'll start to work for others. Fill up your own cup first. Lovely. Now let's move to a loved one. So somebody who we find it really easy to be around. We don't really get triggered by them. We love them very much. And I want you to bring them to mind first and then drop them into the heart space and just ask the heart, is this the right person for me to work with tonight, today? And you'll feel the answer, because maybe you've got 2 or 3 people you're thinking of. So just working with a loved one. And if you're really used to this process and you want to hold more than one person at the heart, then do so. And you can also work with people who are deceased, because they still exist as energy. So if you want to work for a loved one who's deceased, that's fine too. And when you're ready, visualize them. Imagine sitting next to them, maybe holding their hand, maybe sitting directly in front of them, whatever feels comfortable for you. Maybe you're sitting together in meditation, facing each other. And notice their suffering. Notice how it shows in their body. Notice how it shows in their eyes. Perhaps you can see how it shows in their luminous field. Just noticing the density that keeps them trapped in suffering. And then start to see that suffering pouring out of them and forming this cloud of smoke that sits between you and them. And when you're ready, start to breathe in that energy to your heart space. And remember, as soon as it comes into the heart space, it's instantly transmuted, and it makes the heart even brighter. It acts as a fuel. And send out that unconditional love, the healing light, wishing them to be free from suffering, free from ignorance, free from attachment and aversion. feel deeply into the heart. Let the mind's eye create that internal landscape of energy as you transmute it. Notice how the heart space is expanding even more. It's beyond the physical form now. Feel this energy pouring in, pouring out, being transmuted by the flame at the heart space. Sending this light of unconditional love to your loved one. And notice that subtle change in them, a sense of more lightness, a letting go of worry and maybe anger, whatever it is that's causing this suffering, this lack of connection to spirit, which is really the cause of our suffering, is that we forget what we truly are. And let's just do 3 more really well focused breaths. Feel this energy flowing, changing. From darkness into light. Lovely. Now let's move now to somebody who we find it difficult to be with, who trigger us. And remember, that can also be a loved one. It could be a friend that you maybe just had a bit of a fallout with. Maybe it's somebody at work who is triggering you or is very difficult to work with because they're suffering in their delusion or their ignorance. Just take your time until you settle on that person. And then again, visualize them. See their suffering and how it shows in their body, in the way that they speak, their behaviour. And actually, when you notice it from a different viewpoint rather than being triggered, and you allow yourself to step back from it, you start to recognise it as an expression of suffering. It might be shouting or being passive-aggressive, whatever it is. And that doesn't mean to say that they don't need to do some work. And it also doesn't mean to say that it's your job to do that for them. It absolutely isn't. But you can help transmute this energy and a wish for them to be free of their suffering, to find a path to healing, whatever that is for them. We all have different paths to follow. And see this cloud forming, and when you're ready, start to draw it towards the heart. Let it act as fuel for the fire. Just like when you place a log on a fire, it burns really brightly, and it's releasing energy that needs to be transformed. So if you think the log, it was once a tree that grew, and each time it grew it put on an extra ring each year, and that growth came through processing sunlight, and then it creates light, and it makes this light dense in the form of prakriti, so this material world, and then it's transformed once more into light when we put it onto the fire. So let this dense energy of this person that you find it really challenging to be with, to be transformed. And you can also add into that mix the triggers that you have that are linked to these difficulties. Set the intention to release the triggers, and as you release the triggers and they flow outwards, they form protective bands around you. So you create better boundaries that are healthier for you. And these boundaries come with clarity and compassion in your speech towards others. But you have clear boundaries that allow you to be protected. Rather like a sapling growing more and more layers every year to protect the tree. And let's have 3 more breaths for this challenging person. And sometimes this process allows us to be able to step away from that relationship. And that might be just that the relationship is transmuted and changed and we're able to cope with it in a healthier way. Or that actually we just step away from it and decide to leave it where it is. And not engage at all. So it's entirely our choice. Lovely. Now we're going to work with a familiar stranger. So this can be somebody you see passing the house, somebody you see who serves you in a shop that you go to regularly. Maybe it's somebody you see on a walk, or if you take public transport, somebody you see. Could even be somebody that you see regularly on the commute in a car where you're all stuck in traffic. Just somebody who's familiar, but you don't necessarily know the name, but you maybe smile and say hello. Maybe it's somebody who rides past your house every day on a bike, or walks a dog past the house. Just bring them to mind. And just take a moment to see them, notice how their earth suit, their meat suit, carries the signs of suffering. So physically, emotionally, very much in the face and the eyes, as well as mentally, is also the eyes. And we can also see this in the way that people hold their mouth and their arms and their body. Maybe it's collapsing over them and they're being pulled down by the heaviness of depression. Just noticing. And when you're ready, be aware of their suffering forming this cloud of smoke. And then take it into the fire, let it transmute. And as you pour that beautiful, beautiful light out, pour it out with that genuine, heartfelt wish for them to be well and to be free of their suffering, of their attachments and their aversions and their ignorance. And for them to be able to connect deeply to their spiritual light. Notice the subtle shifts in their energy, their body, their facial expression as you work. To transmute this energy. 3 more breaths. Lovely. Now let's work with each other. So bring the arms out as if we're holding light and creating this connection with each other like a huge ring of light. So remember, when we're in the quantum field, there is no distance, there is no time. Notice if the hands suddenly get quite fizzy, because we're actually touching our energy fields. And just each one of you, I want you to place your stuff in the middle of this circle. And we're going to imagine it as a big bonfire. And then we're going to light it up with our hearts. So as you exhale, send forth a beam of fire from your heart to light up this fire in the center of all of us. So we're just transmuting that collective density that keeps us trapped in our stories. Watch it burn. Keep sending the light from the heart into the fire. Let it burn more brightly. Notice if you've suddenly got very hot. Lovely. Let's extend our awareness out to our neighbours. Send it out further into the town, village, city that you live in. Let it encompass the whole planet. Imagine now that this circle that we sit in is extended outwards and we're vast beings of light and we're holding the earth. See it in front of us in this big circle, in this huge field of light that we've created. And be aware of all of Mother Earth's children not just the human race, but all of her children. So her body, her waters, her breath, the stones and the crystals, the plants, the mycelium networks, the mushrooms, the two-legged, the three-legged, the creepy crawlies, the winged, the fin, the furred, all beings, all humans, everything that exists in this physical realm. And also the beings without bodies that are on the earth plane. Back to the heart space, draw the light in. Bring it back into the heart space. Bring the hands to the heart space. And be aware of this fire that transmutes form into light. Be aware of the soul revealing itself to itself in this radiance. And then opening the eyes. And I want you to blow in your wishes. This is a Pachamama stick, a Gaia stick for Mother Earth, which is a sentient planet. And I want you to breathe in your wishes, blow them in for Mother Earth. Those wishes for peace, for clarity, for connection, understanding, for the waters to be clear, for the land to be free of toxicity, for the animals to be free. Blowing in. Those wishes for us to live collectively a better life. In community. Lovely. 3 more breaths, blow it in. Also blow in the courage that's required to speak your truth, so that you can make these things happen in this year of the fire horse, a year of transformation. Lovely. So again, as we allow it to burn, draw in this transformative power, pull it into yourself, pull it into the solar plexus, let it feed your personal power to make positive change for yourself and for all beings. And then pull it to the heart. And then to the third eye. Lovely, and release. Bring the hands to the heart space. Inhale, sweeping up. Down through the midline, honour that light within you. And namaste. So I will close sacred space once the meeting's completed. Thank you for joining me.